If you're into retro game collecting like I am, you've probably heard of a website called Sendico. And if you haven't, Sendico is a third-party proxy site that allows people outside of Japan to buy things from websites that require a Japanese address to ship to. So if you're in America like me, you can buy a Game Boy off of Yahoo Auctions or Mercari, and Sendico will ship it to you for a fee, or rather, a lot of fees. YouTubers like Austin Evans and the Retro Future love to buy a bunch of cool stuff and unbox it for videos, but they don't always break it all down or show the entire experience. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about every step of the process, weigh the pros and cons, break down all of the fees, air out all of my grievances, and tell you whether or not I think it's actually worth it. This is quite the deep dive, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Step one is to find the things I want to buy and, well, buy them. The goal for me is to find a couple complete in-box games, a limited edition console exclusive to Japan, a couple of junk items, and maybe a Virtual Boy if I can swing it. I couldn't swing it. Let's open up Sendico and get started. This is the homepage of Sendico right here. I'm not logged in. I don't even think I have an account yet. I'll set that up later. Let's get to the fun part. But here are your 4 shops. I'm going to stick with Mercari for right now. I don't like auctions. I'm not a bidding kind of person. We're just going to be going for buy it now stuff, which is on Mercari. We're just going to go Game Boy just to see what comes up with Game Boy. So off the bat, we've got a burnt polarizer green Game Boy Pocket for $23. That's not bad. That's really not bad. Add 500 yen for their fee on top of that. It's still going to be under $30. Inland shipping is included on this one, so you won't have to pay for shipping from the seller to Sendico. Some of them don't include shipping, so that will be another fee on top of it. That's not terrible. So these don't have burnt polarizers, but we're getting 40, 30, and 50 are the first 3 listings on eBay in the US. So one of them's at about the same price. Guess it depends on how broken it is. Pre-fees, you're saving a bit. Post-fees, not really. But that was just one listing. All right, that's one listing. Holy crap. That's a sale? $1,500. That's not yen. 1% off. That's the sale. Pikachu Game Boy Micro, is this a special edition or something? Down here, they've got the description from the listing. I guess you got to translate it yourself. I kept it at home for a long time. Game Boy Micro Pokemon Center. Okay. So this is one of 1,000 units. I've never seen this before. There's some damage or staining. Okay. So it's dirty. I don't know if that is actually worth it, but holy crap. Let's just look up Game Boy Color. We've got one for $46 here. It is working. There's some scratches, pretty normal, but a working Game Boy Color. I don't know why they blurred the serial number. That's funny. Yeah, I think that's a steal. We're talking $50. Shipping is included. So once you, yeah, I guess the tough part is not knowing the shipping from Japan to here. But for a fully working Game Boy, Dandelion Yellow for $78. We got one for $60 here. Okay, this is more realistic. Plus 5, so we're talking $65 for a comparable one versus about $50 pre-Japan shipping. If you're buying a bunch of other stuff with it in that shipping from Japan to here, it's probably not a bad deal. But if you're only looking for one item, I don't think it's worth it. Like it kind of is a good deal, but I don't know how much you're saving really. But this does look like a pretty solid Game Boy Color here. While finding a good deal is very important, this part isn't Sendico's fault. They aren't the ones selling the items, they're just here to help you buy it. Once you buy an item, it goes to their warehouse, they'll open it up and make sure it matches the listing. They aren't experts on everything, so they're not going to authenticate anything, but they will make sure that you aren't just getting a pile of rocks. Then they can hold it for up to 180 days in case you want to buy more things to combine for cheaper shipping, and then repack everything and send it to you. So essentially, they're a proxy service and a shipping service. The reason why you'd want to use a service like Sendico is to hopefully get a better deal than you could locally, nationally, or even on another site like eBay. because you still can buy from Japan on eBay, but the listings on Sendico are exclusive to those with a Japanese address. Even though I'm personally not looking for basic Game Boys through this, I wanted to show that off in this video because I know a lot of you watching are gonna want to mod Game Boys and buy them through this service potentially. I'm sure you can get lucky and find a good deal, but I feel like it's not gonna be that much better than anywhere else. But for the most part, there's a lot of cheaper stuff in Japan. Just varies on how much cheaper. There are some other advantages to buying from Japan though. As long as you aren't buying from a smoker, Japanese stuff is usually kept in way better condition, and some people over there will even keep some of their boxes, unlike most of us in the States. So not only could you be getting things in better condition, you could also be getting them complete in box for way cheaper. Just keep in mind that not every console is region free and not every game allows you to change the language. All right, so a loose copy of Metroid Zero Mission in Japanese. Before shipping to the US, it's going to cost you about $40. If you want to get Zero Mission in the US, hoping that these are real, I'm going to assume that these are real. We got 54, 70, 55, 80. They either got lucky or that's fake. 70. I'm going to say 70 is average. That is clearly not real. A good deal would be 60. And we're looking at 40 before having to ship it to here. At minimum, you're probably paying $15 to ship from Japan to my area of the US. So wildly varies depending on where you live. You can even get this boxed for 75. A little damage on the corners, but hey, comes with the manual and the box and the game for 75. That's not bad, dude. That's not bad at all. 55 right there. Boom. That's better than some of the loose copies. I might buy this one. I think I'm gonna buy it. There's one special edition Game Boy that I've wanted for a while, and it is the Hello Kitty Game Boy Pocket. It is something I genuinely want. Not the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Pocket. The Game Boy Color one is just not as good. Look at that condition, dude. That is spick and span. It's not new because they've opened it. Oh, I want this one. That's so much money though. This one comes with the box and everything. It comes with everything. I don't know why. I'm not a Hello Kitty fan. I just have a shirt, okay? And I like this Game Boy. It just looks nice. I stuck with Mercari throughout the majority of this process because I couldn't find things that I wanted on Rakuten or Yahoo Shopping. I've never looked at Rakuten before. Here in the US, Rakuten is just like a coupon service or a cashback service. Okay, so I put in Game Boy Color. This is what comes up. Okay. Maybe Rakuten is not the best for this because not a single Game Boy Color is popping up. Is that a Joey? There we go. Oh, no. Okay, we're going to step away from Rakuten. Yahoo Shopping. Don't buy that. Don't buy this. Oh, God. Okay, let's stick with Mercari then because I've lost all faith in Yahoo Shopping and Rakuten. And like I said earlier, I'm not a fan of bidding. I'll peek at Yahoo auctions real quick. Just a quick little peek. So current price is $28.56. You can buy it now for $40. You can buy 4 DMGs in a Game Boy Color for 102 is the current bid. Oh, that's the starting bid. That's the problem with me like looking at auctions. I can say, wow, that's a great price for this game or this Game Boy. But that's not going to be the ending price unless it does have a buyout price, not a buy it now, it's buyout. Yeah, like it's just hard for me to gauge what's good and bad about the auctions without actually completing an auction. We'll see. If I can't find what I want on Mercari, then I'll poke around Yahoo auctions towards the end. We're gonna go back to Mercari here and apparently buy food. I did not end up bidding on any auctions. Another pro to buying from Japan is some will label things as junk even if it's just a cosmetic issue. It does make it a lot more of a gamble because it could be perfectly fine or way beyond repair. And sometimes they just label it as junk because they don't have the ability to test it anymore. Because of that, I ended up buying a couple junk consoles and some games, and hopefully we'll be able to fix those in some videos on the second channel. Yes, I have a second channel now. I don't know what the name is yet. Link down below. And I bought one of those consoles specifically because 1, it was 200 yen, and 2, because this listing didn't include inland shipping. Inland shipping is the most frustrating thing I experienced while using Sendico. I'm going to rant about this for a minute. If you want to buy something that doesn't include inland shipping in the listing's price, you just have to agree and they will take the money out later when the shipping is calculated. No estimated shipping cost. You just have to hope that you aren't getting screwed over on shipping from the seller to the warehouse. Most of the listings I encountered do include inland shipping, but there are still some that don't include it, and I would honestly just avoid them unless it's like a stellar price. But even then, this one was, and I got screwed over. More on that later. All of these were purchased on Mercari. And I know on the US version of Mercari, you have to put the weight and dimensions in when you make the listing. So Mercari can tell the customer exactly how much shipping will cost. And you have to put your shipping address on your account so they can calculate the number exactly. Unless Mercari in Japan is completely different, which I will admit is totally possible, why can't Sendico do something that at least estimates how much the shipping will cost? As someone who can't write a single line of code, it doesn't seem that hard to do. At the very least, Sendico could estimate how much shipping would cost from the furthest point in Japan to their warehouse based off the weight that the seller gives. What's even more frustrating is the seller I bought from labeled the Super Famicom as 2 kilograms, which is more than double the weight of the actual console. And it was only the console. There was no cables, controllers, nothing included with that one. So the inland shipping ended up costing me more than the Sendico fee and the list price combined. If I had known it was going to cost me that much, I would not have bought it. And there was no way of backing out once I found how much the inland shipping cost. At least not that I could find. But I went this way because I wanted to experience it so you didn't have to. You're welcome. I'm going to table this rant for now so we can go over how to buy things. This was another pain point for me. You have to add funds to your wallet before you can purchase any items, which makes a little sense when I say it out loud, but why can't you just add multiple listings to a cart like on eBay? What happens if the listing sells while I'm adding funds to my wallet? Am I just supposed to have funds in my wallet at all times? There is a way to request a refund from your wallet, but it doesn't seem like it would be automatic, and you have to pay another transaction fee to get it back. Which, yes, you have to pay a transaction fee when you add funds to your wallet. At first, I was annoyed, but it makes sense because they wouldn't make any money if they just ate the credit card fees. It just gets really annoying when the fees start adding up and up and up. The 500 yen transaction fee, inland shipping that surprises you, credit card fees. We haven't even mentioned shipping it from Japan to you. But once you have funds in your wallet, it is actually pretty self-explanatory to click on the buy button. I believe in you. After all of your packages arrive at Sendico's warehouse, you can consolidate them all into one big package to save on international shipping. While this is mostly another self-explanatory and easy process, I need to continue my rant from earlier. Because the seller weighed the Super Famicom at a whopping 2 kilograms, almost 5 pounds by the way, the entire package's estimation was over 7 kilograms. That's 15 and a half freedom units for my fellow Americans, which is just way too heavy. Like, I know the things in there do not weigh that much. And so I was given 3 shipping options with prices, or a few more premium options that would be calculated after they packaged and reweighed everything. I knew FedEx would be the cheapest for me other than the 30 to 90 day surface option, so I took the gamble and hoped the FedEx price wouldn't break the bank. Now, I would hope that you could contact support and get a carrier change if you don't like the price or you think, DHL might be a better option for me. But they really make you feel like you're stuck with this option no matter what the price ends up being. It was incredibly frustrating as a customer, but in the end, FedEx was the best option. The final weight was 5.3 kilograms, which was accurate. I weighed it after I got it in. But what if I would have gone with the cheaper surface option initially and overpaid for shipping? That's not cool. So it would be cool if I could consolidate the package and then choose what shipping I want. Because I want the weight and dimensions to be accurate when I'm going to pay for a label that is at least $50. Oh, spoilers. And now would be the perfect time to mention that their shipping calculator is accurate if you have the exact weight and dimensions. However, the quick options on the left are wildly inaccurate, and it genuinely blows my mind how wrong some of these are. Like, one trading card is 0.2 kilograms with a 6 by 31 by 23 centimeter box. So you're telling me that one of these goes in a box that's 2.5 by 12 by 9 inches and weighs a half a pound? For context, that's a box the size of a ream of paper and weighs as much as a Game Boy. Really? Really? And when you click VG console, which I assume is video game console, which is fair to be generic, but 17 kilograms? Are you talking an arcade machine? Like a real arcade cabinet? 17 kilograms? I just don't trust this chart at all. Like I was starting to think maybe they just put like the wrong measurements in there, but I don't know what measurements these would match up with. Not any of my units. Anyways, I also swung for the 500 yen better packaging, making the shipping total about $50 US, which is very reasonable. And even though I paid for the shipping at the start of the Lunar New Year, I received everything a week from purchasing it. But in reality, it only took about 3 days from when the package actually started moving. But results will vary depending on where you live and what shipping option you choose. All around, with that part of the shipping, I was very impressed. So let's get to unboxing all of it. It's here. Also, hi, I'm standing for this one. It's quite the big package. So we're going super wide on everything. Also, I'm dressed appropriately for this unboxing. Let's open this. I can appreciate the fragile handle with care taped all over the box. This is some like over the top tape. Holy. Hopefully I didn't just slice my stuff. But I did pay 500 extra yen for that, the good packaging. That is some thick cardboard too. This is nice. The unboxing experience is nice so far. That is a lot of packaging. Okay, this feels very premium. I'm not gonna lie. That is a disgusting Super Game Boy, but I did buy it in 4 parts condition. I am a little upset that all the games are just loose. Not that upset. It would be nice if they were all individually wrapped, but at least that they took care of some of them. Thanks a million. You're welcome. This seems like this was original packaging. Okay, now here's my gripe. Okay, I need to look back at the pictures. I'll put the listing up on screen. But this is boxed, man. I paid extra for the protective packaging. I know it was only 500 yen, but come on. It would have just been nice to have all the boxed things, unbox them and flat lay them, unless there is like a seal on them, which this one doesn't have a seal. I feel like I've seen some of Elliot's videos where they're like that. Maybe there was a request section I could have asked for. I don't know. I'm assuming that some of this packaging is going to be from like the individual sellers, but then I also don't know. I don't know if the person I bought this from packaged it like this or if Sendico repackaged it like this. Part of me thinks, yeah, they repackaged it, but then when there's a loose this, like, did this come with no bubble wrap on? They're like, it doesn't need bubble wrap. Or it did have bubble wrap, and they're like, it doesn't need bubble wrap. I appreciate the Famicom disc game having a little extra protection, though. There's a lot of tape. Holy. Yay. Is this? Oh, that is a case for it. Okay, cool. So technically this came CIB. These are protected, and these are boxed. Okay. These look pretty decent. I'm glad I went with these, because these look fine. These look good. I love this art style. If I could draw, I wish I could do this. There's a reason why I have a version of me that looks like it's from the Mushroom Kingdom on a shirt. I love that art style. RetroRemaster.com. All right, now this one was like pristine. I do appreciate this, but this is way too much tape. You gotta leave me room to open it. I don't think this is Sendico, especially this is like individual Mercari seller. It's got that written all over it. This is so cute. Dude, this is adorable. All the packaging in here is just, oh, it's so cute. I mean, I'm a man opening my tiny little package. Don't take that out of context, please. They kind of did this in like perfect unboxing order. Oh, wow. I did not realize how many PSP games were in that lot. We also have a PS2 game in here. I have no idea what this is. Let me know in the comments down below. I'll save this for last. That's a decent box with very padded stuff. Okay, we can get down low. Too lazy to get a chair. This is my 300 yen Super Nintendo. This doesn't feel very premium packaging. Oh, I'm gonna assume that this was from the seller, which is fine. The metal looks like it's seen better days, but so is the shell. I guess we'll see if it works, but that'll be another video. Get subscribed to the second channel for that. This will be really awkward if the second channel isn't up yet, but I'm making one. Or you're watching the extended cut of this on the second channel now. This is decently packed. And this is my Famicom. And then we've got, oh, so this, okay. So if you want to play the disc system, I would imagine that this goes into down in the back here, but that will also be a neat fix. These were both the consoles, the home consoles I got were as is or junk. This will also be its own video later down the line. I'm excited to try these out, but we got one more thing to unbox. See, I can open that. This is it. The moment I have been waiting for. Make sure we're still recording. Where do people get these? Every time I buy something from Japan, it's wrapped in this like cellophane. What is this? I don't know. Is this just common courtesy? Or am I always buying from like actual sellers? I don't know. Woo! This is nice. I haven't even opened it yet. This is sick. We can make sure, we can verify that this is the real console by looking at this. This is our serial number. And the serial number's, wait, what? The serial number's 1 off. What? Is that normal? Someone tell me that's normal. It's literally just 1 number off. I'm gonna guess that's normal. That's weird. I mean, I don't really care if this isn't from the original box. I just care that this is beautiful, and it is. I'm happy. I'm very happy. I made an extended cut of the unboxing for the second channel, so go subscribe there. I'll have a link down below. Now, something I didn't notice until I started editing this was I never got this loose DS game, but I also didn't notice that there was a DS game when I bought it, so I'm not that torn up about it. I double checked and I still couldn't find it anywhere in the packaging. I know they're very small cartridges. It's just not there. And honestly, I don't really care. I didn't know that I bought it and it was like 50 cents. I just hope that this isn't a regular occurrence with Sendico. Other than that, in my Metroid box not being wrapped, I was very impressed and satisfied with the packaging and shipping. But what was the grand total? Let's break it down. Because the yen to US dollar exchange rate changes many times every day, my calculations will not match the current market. Before any fees, I spent 56,060 yen on everything you just watched me unbox. That's approximately $389 US. Those were purchased from 8 listings, and since Sendico has a 500 yen per listing fee, I spent about 4,000 yen or $26 on their fees. You also can't forget the 1440 yen or about $10 that I spent on inland shipping for the one Super Famicom. I'm never letting that go. Then the shipping from Japan to the best coast through FedEx cost me 6,975 yen, plus the optional 500 yen packing fee cost me about $50 US. And lastly, the credit card fees that cost me about $15 extra. So in total, I spent about $490, with about $100 of that being shipping and other fees, which, trust me, sounds like a lot, but I think it's a fair price to pay. Hear me out. I feel like their 500 yen per listing fee is extremely fair. It's cheap and makes buying a lot of items in one listing even better. They have to charge transaction fees, otherwise they would make either no money, or to make up for it, they would charge more for the per listing fee. And yeah, $50 is a lot for shipping, but it's completely fair for a 13-pound international package. That's just how expensive international shipping is, even if it's not that far. It all just sucks when you have an initial price and you watch the fees slowly pile up on you. I paid about 20% more than the list price, but even then, I still saved on most of the items I got compared to the US versions. I got a boxed Japanese copy of Metroid Zero Mission for the price I would get a US loose copy. Same thing with the other boxed games. I still saved money and got more on a lot of my items. So do I think Sendico is worth it? Yeah, if you go in with the right mindset. I think their packaging is pretty dang good for the money. I just wish they told you the prices of inland shipping and gave better estimates on shipping prices in general before they take your money. It would also be nice to be able to purchase something without having to add funds to the wallet. Otherwise, if you go in expecting to pay about 20% more than list price and still find good deals, I think Sendico is worth it, as long as the yen stays inferior to the US dollar. So what do you guys think? Are you going to try Sendico? Have you already tried it? Let me know in those comments down below. I probably should have said this at the beginning, but I have never worked with or even talked to anybody at Sendico before. I still haven't. And I feel like it's pretty obvious that I didn't hold back on anything in this video. However, since I spent a lot of money on this video and put a lot of work into it, I will leave my referral link down below. You don't have to use it, but I would appreciate it if you did. But there are other services just like Sendico that might do a better job or just be cheaper. Buyee is the same kind of thing as Sendico. It's another proxy service that allows people from outside of Japan to buy from local listings within Japan, for a fee, of course. Buyee even offers more websites to choose from compared to Sendico. And since they offer the same exact service, that makes Buyee better, right? Well, we're going to explore Buyee, buy some stuff, show off the buying process for products and for shipping, unbox it, break down all the fees, and of course, complain. Let's start off by just looking at Buyee, and wow, there is a lot going on. It's a bit overwhelming and a little confusing just looking at the home screen. And apparently starting today through the almost end of the month, Buyee fees are free? How do they make their money? Get a coupon. This also looks like a fake ad. Oh, if you get alcohol or purses or fish hooks and clothes. Okay, so it's probably not gonna work with the things that I want. Okay, we're just gonna ignore that. Like in the last video, I'm not an auction guy. I'm gonna avoid auctions for now. And I think I'm just gonna go straight to Mercari. Okay, an eBay option. That's interesting. I can access Japanese eBay. Yeah, this is literally just American eBay. Well, we don't need to search eBay. Let's go to Mercari. Okay, so we've got direct search, we've got auto translate and search, and AI support. I'm just gonna go for auto translate and search because it's hot, apparently. It'll take the words that you put in the search bar, translate it to Japanese, and then search it. That way you'll hopefully have a little more accuracy. So immediately we have a $4,000 Game Boy Advance in box, and it looks like it's still sealed. At that price, I hope it is. I didn't know there was a crazy taxi game for the Game Boy Advance. I'm gonna need to check that out. $7 for WarioWare Twisted? Hold up. Close to unused, huh? I don't know about that. It does look really good. Wow. Shipping paid by seller. That's nice. Estimated 1 to 2 days shipping. That's fairly normal. Immediately, I don't think Buyee looks as clean as Sendico, but the prices of items aren't on Buyee and Sendico. All they are is a proxy service. They're just going to show you listings and then they'll ask for a little bit extra money every time you purchase something. But I have a list of things that I want to get. I still want a Virtual Boy. I want to get Duck Hunt and a Zapper for my Famicom that right now isn't working. And I want to get a couple more of the Metroid games. Let's start with looking at Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt is like my favorite NES game. Oh, and this might be a little harder to look for. $75 to get it complete in box. Is it really that expensive? This one's not bad. $6, 38 cents. Seller pays shipping. Oh man, add to shopping cart. Yeah, I love that. I need to find a blaster. Famicom gun. I'm gonna try and auto translate and search that one. Maybe try blaster. Nope. Okay, I guess it was just called gun. And this isn't really a fault of Buyee, but it can be hard to find the right search terms for specific items. Both Sendico and Buyee seem to use Google Translate for translating searches. Buyee's translating is just sexier, I guess. Buyee does have every company's favorite new buzzword, but I found AI support to be completely useless. Either way, I was struggling to find the right keywords to search for these guys. I love Duck Hunt, so naturally I wanted the Japanese cartridge that also happens to be in my favorite color. But the NES Zapper won't work with the Famicom since it has a different controller port. So the Famicom Blaster is something I need if I'm actually going to play Duck Hunt on my Famicom. Eventually I grabbed the cheapest listing I could find, but that turned into a whole nother problem later on. More on that later. One of my biggest frustrations during the Sendico video was inland shipping. Like a lot of online listings, some sellers will cover the shipping and some will charge you for it. And when I do have to pay for shipping, sites like eBay will tell me exactly how much that will cost. But neither Sendico nor Buyee will give you an estimate for the inland, or in this case, domestic shipping. Obviously, we have to pay for the shipping from their warehouse to us, but I'm talking about the shipping from the seller to the warehouse. Thankfully, most of the Japanese listings I come across, the seller pays shipping, but that's not always the case. So if you are the one that has to pay shipping, you'll just get charged whatever the seller decides the shipping costs, and you just have to be okay with it. Personally, I'm not a fan of that, but at least Buyee gives you a big ol' warning. I'm not going to get too into the weeds about it because I already did that in the last video, but it would be really easy for these companies to at least give an estimate of how much shipping to the warehouse would cost. If you couldn't tell, this is incredibly frustrating to me. This time around, I decided to not purchase any listings that had me pay the domestic shipping to keep my veins from popping out of my skin. And speaking of shipping, when I made my account, I got a little confused on how to put in my address. This whole sign up process is a little weird. It says apartment, suite, unit, building, floor. I don't live in an apartment, but it says address 1 as in line 1, which would usually be the house number, the street. But that's the next line, the street address, which is optional according to the red warning label there. And then town, well, I just put in my city above. I know addresses are different all around the world, and I've already put in that I'm in the United States of America, so they should know how that address works. So I'm a little confused, but I'm gonna put it in how I'd normally put it in and hope that this is the right way to do it. I'll just leave those other things blank because I don't know, I'm confused. I ended up just putting my address in the normal 3-line system that we have in the US, but you might want to ask support for clarification. And if you're watching this, Buyee, please fix this. Line 1 is street address, line 2 is apartment and all that stuff, and line 3 would be city, state, and zip code, but it's not necessary here since you already had me enter those things above. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like it's really important to have the address part as straightforward as possible. But now that we got that cleared up, let's try buying everything. So I've got everything in my cart. So we proceed to order page. It's saying I've got a bunch of coupons, 9% off, limited to Honto. I don't know what Honto is. I feel like none of these coupons are going to work for me. This is very confusing. I feel like these are for like individual sellers. I don't know. You can add them all to a cart, but you still have to buy them individually, which just seems a little silly. Okay. Standard plan, 500 yen. Insured delivery only, 500 yen. Inspection only, 300 yen. Light plan, 0 yen. What does that mean? You get insured delivery and inspection, which apparently is normally 800 yen, which is a little more than Sendico. Just insured delivery, you don't get an inspection for 500 yen. That saves you 300 yen according to the regular price. I don't know if it's always on sale or what. I don't know. 300 yen will just get you inspection, and 0 yen, nothing. They won't inspect it, and the delivery won't be insured. Personally, for peace of mind, the standard plan seems good to me. But if you want to roll the dice, I think that's a cool option because now I'm saving money. Yeah, that's cool to have options. I'm just confused about how they make their money. Okay, there it is. I was going to say that feels like a bit more extra. So there are plan fees, but then there's still a Buyee service fee. Throughout this whole process, I've been trying to keep it all as even as possible, and I chose the standard plan for everything because I assumed that matched Sendico's offerings. But I'm not exactly sure if Sendico's 500 yen service fee includes domestic shipping insurance or not. I know that they at least check to make sure that you're not getting a pile of rocks, and I hope that Buyee would do the same even if you choose the light plan. Why is it called the light plan? It's extremely light because there's nothing there. Either way, you have 4 different options to choose from for fees, and you could end up paying less in this part of the purchase. And on top of that, Buyee doesn't charge you credit card fees. I just realized they didn't charge me credit card fees, I don't think. No, unless they do that later. Maybe they do that for shipping. It doesn't mean you're paying less overall, but we'll talk totals more at the end of the video. Being able to add things to my cart was awesome, but a bit pointless when I still had to purchase each listing individually. At that point, your cart is just a glorified wish list, but hey, You don't have to add funds to the wallet just to buy something. So far, my shopping experience felt a little better with Buyee, but that could also be because I had a better idea of what I was getting myself into this time. However, Buyee didn't keep popping up with fees that I wasn't expecting. Now that every listing was purchased, all I had to do was wait for them to arrive at Buyee's warehouse, and oh, there's an email from them already. Yeah, so apparently I'm not allowed to buy the Famicom gun because of Japan's international shipping rules. And while I think it's incredibly stupid that I can't buy a toy gun for a video game from the 80s made by a reputable Japanese company, it's not Buyee's fault. They're just following their local laws, even if it's a stupid law. If anything, it's a positive thing that Buyee stopped it both times I tried to purchase it, because it saved me from the heartache of not getting something that I paid for. I guess I'm just gonna have to go to Japan and smuggle it on the plane myself. TSA won't even see me coming. But once everything arrived at the warehouse, it was super simple. I checked off everything I wanted to consolidate into one big package to ship to me, and whether or not I wanted to pay extra for protective packaging. That was 1,500 yen compared to Sendico's 500 yen, but I purchased it anyway to keep it fair. It automatically chose EMS for my international shipping, but don't worry, we'll be able to change that once the package is consolidated. And the very next day, it was consolidated and ready for me to pay for international shipping. It was a lot more than I was expecting, and I was getting a little frustrated because I couldn't choose FedEx. I know everybody has had different experiences, but for me, FedEx has always been my favorite, especially for international packages. Plus, I wanted to keep it fair / make it really easy to compare shipping prices. But based off of prior knowledge and context clues, I figured Buyee Air was just FedEx or at least something equivalent. So I took the gamble and paid $62.28 for Buyee Air to ship it to me. Besides that bit of frustration and confusion, the international shipping process went smoothly. And about a week later, Buyee Air delivered my package. The package is small enough this time I can actually sit down. There's so much tape on this thing. I can't even see where the cardboard actually splits. Holy crap. Does the cardboard split? Is this the bottom of it? Oh, why would you put tape down the middle? It's the other style of box. Someone's pulling a prank on me over at Buyee. Why do you have tape down the middle if it opens like this? This is a weird box, man. It's all 4 sides are this big. This is over the top. Good Lord. Maybe this is what I paid an extra 1,500 yen for. I don't know. There is a lot of extra packaging here. And it's all just like bundled up in one though. Really? Okay. Whoa. Do that. This could have been in a much smaller box. But I mean, okay. That was probably $1,500 worth of packaging for sure. Was it packed well? I don't know. Interesting. I'm already forgetting what I bought, but this is just a weird way of packaging things. Because, like, there's not protection for each of these individual things. And they're boxes and a charger. Okay, there's more individual wrapping here. You know what? That's fair. At first, I was a little disappointed with this packaging, but they did bubble wrap my box and put it in a bubble wrapped mailer and then stacked it all in there in a bigger bubble wrap. Personally, I feel like they shouldn't have been all wrapped into one big lump. I feel like they should have had individual bubble wraps around them and stacked up just like in Sendico's box. But also just like in Sendico's box, they just had boxed games loose randomly. Some of them properly wrapped. Others just in a plastic bag thrown in with the rest of it. At some point during its journey halfway around the world, the Famicom could have crushed that. I feel like, I don't know. It's here. It looks relatively safe. We'll see. But I guess I do appreciate this. I just wish it wouldn't have been wrapped all into one. I don't know. Maybe that is better. I'm not a packaging guru. It just doesn't feel as good. I don't know. Sendico's packaging felt better. And it's like, okay, each of these games doesn't need to be individually wrapped. But I don't know, you have all of that packaging loose in there, just bunched up. Then these are just in one tiny bubble wrap sack. I don't know. Just seems a little silly there, but I probably picked this because Metroid Fusion's in here. but I definitely picked it because Metroid Fusion's in here, but I forgot that it was in here. Now I'm pumped. We've got a Fire Red and a Ruby. These are all like untested games. If they don't just work off of a quick cleaning, there'll be a video on these. And when these are fixed, these will be thrown in random orders. So buy a Game Boy, retroremaster.com. Game Boy Advance games will be thrown in with Game Boy Advances. So, but that excludes Metroid Fusion because I want this game. Other than that, I don't really care about the rest of these. This must be Bayonetta. Bayonetta in its own plastic bag. Seriously, like I said in the Sendico video, what's up with this? This happens in a lot of my Japanese packages, and I don't know why this is necessary when this is a sealed game. Oh, it is partially sealed. It's already kind of torn. Hey, $25 for a sealed Bayonetta? That's really hard to find around here. You're not getting the sealed Bayonetta game in the US for $20, I'll tell you that. Hopefully there's an English language option. Actually, I think this whole game is just in English. I'm realizing now that Switch game cases are different, unless this is also a fake Switch game. That would suck. Now I'm a little scared. They're not faking games in Japan. It's one way to find out if it's real or not. Oh, yep. Oh, God, I forgot how bad that tastes. Oh, no. I don't think they're doing that to the fake games. Oh. But anyways, Metroid 2. It's the first time I actually own a copy of it. I mean, I've owned a copy of it the whole time. Every time you've seen it on a flash card, that was my copy. I just got a Japanese boxed one. Anyways, I don't condone piracy. The label looks fake, but I know it's real because it has like the 23 indent on it. But I don't know, the art just looks fake. I don't know, but that's a clean, very clean cart. Whoever owned this took good care of it. And this is just a AGS-001 that needs a clean power switch. And it just works. Look at that. I don't have to fix a Game Boy for once. Well, I need to go in and clean the power switch, but that's nice. Our last two games. I mean, these are plastic boxes with the smaller cardboard boxes within them. These are kind of gross. I don't care about Zelda 2. Most people don't like Zelda 2. I think it's called Link 2, technically. I don't know. Adventures of Link, something like that. But yeah, it just came with this listing. I really wanted this, and this was also a slamming deal. I'll put it up on screen, but I do not remember. For the two games and this, it was a good deal. Otherwise, it was just an okay deal for this. And I got a Famicom because the Famicom I got last time isn't going so well. I don't know. The packaging seemed fine, but some things felt better, but some things didn't feel as good. I don't know. I felt like just more bubble wrap around individual things instead of in the bubble mailers. But then it also had bubble wrap in the bubble mailers. I don't know. It just didn't feel as good. I really don't know how to explain it, but Buyee's packaging just didn't look or feel as good as Sendico's. Nothing arrived broken with either package, but I did pay Buyee a lot more, so I had higher expectations. At the very least, I expected an equivalent packaging job. Well, I guess they did both randomly decide to not bubble wrap some of the boxed games, and just like I did with the Sendico video, there will be an extended cut of the unboxing up on the second channel, live right now, link in the description. But now that everything is said and done, let's talk money. Pre any fees, I paid 36,799 yen, or about $260.86 for 5 listings. Now that is significantly less than the $390-ish I spent on 8 listings with Sendico, so I will be talking percentages later to keep it fair. I spent 4,000 yen or $28.37 on Buyee fees, which was the same amount I spent on Sendico fees, but I also only bought from 5 listings compared to 8 with Sendico, and these were the per listing fees. Plus, like I said, I could have paid as low as 300 yen per listing if I wanted to. And because of that, Buyee had the edge until we got to the international shipping. Not only do I think that Sendico did a better job with their packaging, but their protective packaging fee was 1,000 yen cheaper than Buyee's. However, this is where Sendico really pulls ahead. Both of my international packages were sent via FedEx, Buyee Air. With the packaging fees included, Sendico only charged me $50 and Buyee charged me $62.28. And you might be thinking, come on, Jake, you're being a little dramatic over $12. If you remember back to my Sendico video, I made a big deal about the weight of the package. Weight is the single most important factor when it comes to shipping prices. The Sendico package weighed 11.8 pounds, and the Buyee package was only 4.6 pounds. I paid $12 more for a package that weighed 2.5 times less? Are you kidding me? Why don't you before you Buyee? I'm sorry you had to hear that. Let's just rip the band-aid off. While I don't care for the way Sendico handles the buying process, they really do make it as cheap as possible for the customer while still charging a fair amount for the great work they do. And as much as I prefer Buyee's experience, it's not at all worth the extra money. Sendico's way of doing things will make you feel like you're being nickeled and dimed, but you're being lulled into a false sense of security with Buyee just for them to way overcharge you for shipping. I just realized they didn't charge me credit card fees. And when I spend a lot of money, I think that's better. And as I promised, here are the percentages. I paid a total of $490 with Sendico, and about 20% of that was shipping and fees. For Buyee, I paid a total of $351.51, and about 26% of that was shipping and fees, 18% of which was shipping alone. You can do the math. Have fun. So while fees were about the same as Sendico's no matter what plan you chose for Buyee, you're going to pay almost double for shipping. Normally, I don't like to declare a winner when I make my comparison videos, but I don't see why there would be any reason to choose Buyee over Sendico unless you really want to buy from one of the extra vendors they support that Sendico doesn't. Breaking news. As I was just finishing up the edit for this entire video, I got to the point where I was about to say, when it comes to the vendors that they both support, they are the same exact listings at the same exact prices. The only difference is one will charge a lot more to ship it to you. And you may have noticed for part of that there was no B-roll. I was just looking down, reading it straight off my script because I was going to put up the same listing on both websites. Here's the listing on Buyee for a boxed copy of Pokemon Crystal. It is 9,300 yen. You can view it on Mercari. And it says 9,300 yen, approximately $62.69. Same approximation over here. And if you go over to Sendico, same exact listing, 9,300 yen, but 59.52. And my first thought was, that's weird, but it's not a big deal because it's the same price in yen, and that's just like an approximate, right? And if you do the conversion yourself, because the Forex market is something that is always changing literally every second of the day, you can see that Sendico was 10 cents off of what it really is right now, and they probably don't have it update every second. It's just like a guide because you pay for the listings in yen. So it doesn't really matter what the dollar amount is or whatever your currency is because you're going to be paying the yen. That's why you add funds to the wallet and then you're just going to pay with yen. So there's no conversion for buying individual listings. This is just to help you not spend too much, I guess. However, over on Buyee, when it's much more expensive, this actually does make a big difference. This is a big deal. Yes, it's only $3 difference, but this isn't an estimate. I don't add funds to the wallet. I don't pay in yen over on Buyee. I pay in USD. Throughout this video, you've watched me every step of the way, and it has all been in the US currency. You can look at my credit card statement. Whatever US price they told me when I was checking out was how much they took out of my account. So they're either really bad at converting yen to any other currency, or they're inflating the price to make even more money off of you. So they are the same exact listings at the same exact prices, but Buyee will still somehow charge you more. I'm guessing this is how they sneak in their credit card fees or their conversion fees. I don't know if it costs money for them to convert it, but yeah, I just can't recommend Buyee anymore. There is no reason for you to pay more for the same exact listings. Every step of the way, you are paying more. I will never be using Buyee again. I know some of you will think I'm biased because I have a referral code for Sendico, but I feel like the numbers speak for themselves. Plus, I still have plenty of grievances with Sendico that I made abundantly clear in the last video. So I'll leave my Sendico link down below if you'd like to help support me. I feel like this is all very cut and dry, but I'd love to know what you guys think. Are you going to try Buyee or Sendico? Have you already tried one or both of them before? Did this video make you feel like you got ripped off by Buyee? Let me know in those comments down below. I've tried Sendico, I've used Buyee, and I've gotten a million Instagram ads for ZenMarket. Today is the day we complete the trilogy and spend another $500-ish on Japanese video games and consoles. And by the end of this video, I will choose which service I think is the best. Before we dive into the ZenMarket experience, I wanted to stress that this video is not sponsored by ZenMarket. I did reach out to them to see if they wanted to sponsor this video, but long story short, they didn't want me mentioning any of their competitors like Buyee or Sendico, so I turned down all of their offers. I wanted to mention this because even though we never could come to an agreement, I can't guarantee that they didn't see my name in the orders and put in a little more effort. Because, spoiler alert, the packaging was phenomenal, which it should be because all these companies are just proxy services. The things we buy through them can be bought at the same price no matter who you go through. Sendico, ZenMarket, and Buyee are all competing to give you the best experience and the best prices on their numerous fees. If you find a good deal on one of them, you can find that same listing on all of them, assuming they support the website you're looking at. Speaking of which, let's go find some deals and see how easy it is to sift through ZenMarket. And the first thing you see with ZenMarket is bang! 500 Zen points on your ZenMarket account. What the heck is a Zen point? I don't know. Do I want Zen points? Probably, maybe. I don't know. Let's claim my Zen points. Like Buyee, there's a lot of options to choose from. It feels like there's more options to choose from than Sendico. We're going to stick with Mercari just like normal. I don't really like dealing with auctions. I know you can find some really good deals with auctions, but let's just stick with something I can buy now because that makes it way easier for me making this video. What is the searching experience really like? I would like to get Duck Hunt for the Famicom. Probably should spell that correctly. I can get just the game in box. Looks complete, a little worn for $9, which is pretty nice. Versus this one that looks really good for $60. No way. A Famicom box? Oh my gosh. I can't. These are so rare. It's so cool. The Famicom box, this thing right here, is a giant Famicom or NES that is meant to be like in a hotel back in the day. And there's just a bunch of games built into this, locked in there. And when you open it up, they're just NES cartridges. But this is technically a Famicom. But at the same time, it also gives you a NES Zapper and NES controllers. It is so weird, but so cool. And man, I'm tempted to get this. But $1,600, that is over 3 times the budget. Well, think about it. Ooh, here we go. Oh, baby. $100, $96.20. We get the gun, the holster, which I didn't know was a thing, and then the 2 of the games pristine in box. Schnikes. Only problem is, even though it's not a real gun, if you haven't seen my video on Buyee, this might get taken away from me. And I don't know if it's worth the risk of $100. I will add it to watch list here. We will keep it around, but that's exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, another thing I need is a new 3DS LL because we are going to be modding one with a capture card in it. So I'm going to look for hopefully a decent price new Nintendo 3DS LL. And it'd be cool to have like a special edition, but $534 is over our $500-ish budget for this video. Honestly, like a plain one would be cool though. It'd be fine. Man, it'd be nice to be able to sift through like chargers and stuff. I don't need a charger. Why are you selling chargers on Mercari? Please stop. Ooh, $126 for the lime green one. It's missing the top of the circle pad. That's fairly easy to fix since we're gonna have to be in there anyways. It's looking pretty clean. I think I might go for this one. I need some Famicom disk system games. I only have one, and they're not really easy to come by in the States. So I gotta get some more. I would like to get a lot of them. Why are we censoring that? I would like to know what games they are, please. Discoon. Whoa, why is it $500 for Discoon? What? A golden golf cart? Yeah, golf cart in a Discoon carrying case? I kind of want it now. I don't need it though. I didn't know it existed, but I want it now. I'm finding some cool stuff on here though. Like I'm unintentionally finding really cool stuff. But again, that's not like a ZenMarket thing. It's just like I can find this on Sendico and buy it on Sendico instead, or with Sendico, I should say. Ooh, that's so cool. I gotta add it to the watch list at least. And of course, the last thing we gotta do. This entire series, I've been wanting to get a virtual boy. I want one so very badly. I don't know if it's in the budget. I still don't think it is in the budget, but we gotta look. Nestor's Funky Bowling for holy crap! $1,000 for Nestor's Funky Bowling? That's a funky price there, dude. All things considered, the searching experience wasn't too shabby. Just make sure you leave any categories you might be in before you make your next search or you will find nothing. But now that I've added everything to my cart, it's time to spend the most amount of money I've spent in this series. And unfortunately, like with Sendico, we have to add funds to our account before we buy anything, instead of just paying the exact amount of money we need for the transaction like I'd prefer. Okay, that's what I liked about Buyee. We didn't have to add funds to our wallet, but now we're gonna have to add funds to our wallet here. And I'm still waiting for the new Nintendo 3DS XL to be checked to make sure it's still available. I guess we'll just add funds. Pretty much everything is 3.5%, or doing it through Wise for a lot cheaper. We'll just do it through my MasterCard here. That's the thing. I don't know how much to put in because this is still being checked. 75,000 yen, about how much I would have gotten if this video would have been sponsored by ZenMarket, but still waiting for this thing to be checked. I would just like to buy it, please. Whoa. No way. That's not. No way. Hold up. They're charging a lot more to put in USD. That's, I don't like that. It's $550 right off the bat, which sucks. And I know I'm going to have to add more. So, oof. Let's just do it. I got stuff to do today. I didn't realize just how much more I was paying until I watched this footage back. Yes, they do clearly state there is a 3.5% charge, but this is clearly more than 3.5% that they're charging. I looked all around ZenMarket's website and couldn't find any answers as to why it was more than a 3.5% difference. So I did some critical thinking and deduced that there was probably some sort of hidden currency conversion fee. When you do the math to add yen to your account, it comes out to be about 3.6%, but when I did it in USD, it was over 7%. I understand that banks have a lot of fees that are outside of ZenMarket's control, but just tell me about any of the possible fees here, or I don't know, in the fees section of your website. But anyways, let's just finish buying the stuff. I can finally get the new Nintendo 3DS XL in line. And yeah, I pretty much predicted that I would need about 80,000 yen, and it's definitely not going to be 2,500 yen to pay for shipping. I'm going to have to add more later on. Maybe I should have done 85,000, but oh, that was it. I kind of have this like pit in my stomach now because I feel like I should have had to do more stuff, but I just had $550 vanish in front of my eyes. Nothing I can really do about it now. Okay, I guess I'll come back when it's time to consolidate the order. ZenMarket didn't do anything wrong there. It just felt way too easy to spend all of that money. At least I was able to buy everything in just 2 clicks instead of having to purchase everything individually. But just a few days later, I got an email saying that everything was in the warehouse and ready to consolidate. So I assume we just go to create new parcel. Everything's already checked. I'm going to go ahead and put in my information here. Seems pretty straightforward. Okay, what the baby? I'm the dumb one here. In what world do you need to give your social security number to someone to ship something to you? Please do not be dumb enough to give away your social security number on the internet. ZenMarket, why are you asking this? Why is it optional? That's just a major red flag. What? No. Why? Why do you need my social security number? I would love to know. We're just going to skip on past that. I reached out to my ZenMarket contact again to ask about the social security thing, and apparently it's for tax purposes in Europe. It doesn't really make sense to me as an American, but it does seem completely optional. I just don't like the idea of giving sensitive information like that to companies who don't need it, in case of things like, data leaks. After leaving the SSN box blank, I got to choose which shipping service I wanted, and I chose FedEx since that's what I used for the past 2 videos, and I wanted to keep this as fair as possible. Speaking of keeping it fair, I opted for the additional reinforcement for 1,000 yen. That's 500 yen more than Sendico's fee, and 500 yen less than Buyee's. But other than that, you won't know how much shipping will cost you until the next phase. Thankfully, their shipping calculator is actually pretty accurate, and you can change the delivery method before you pay for it. It already took the 1,000 yen from my account. Still don't know what to do with these endpoints though. Maybe I can use them when I pay for shipping. Guess I'll see you then. 9,720 yen there. Okay, that's 61 bucks. That's not terrible. Actually, I feel like that's really, really fair. Maybe I missed it, or maybe I'm about to do it, but I feel like I haven't been offered insurance, but it says right there, nope, I don't have any, which I haven't asked for it. I haven't paid for it. But at the same time, I don't think I've been asked. So I don't know if I can use my Zen points here, but I can add some money. So I'll have 1 yen left over in theory. So then I should be able to go to parcels and I should be able to pay and hit pay. Payment complete. Cool. I still didn't really get an option to add insurance. And that's because ZenMarket actually covers the cost of shipping insurance on every parcel up to 500,000 yen in value, which is super dope. Huge props for that, assuming the claim process isn't a nightmare. Oh, wait, what? Wait, hold on, what? Now I've got 500 yen? My Zen points are gone? They worked for shipping? Excuse me? I could have saved 500 yen. I could have saved $2. This is a weird experience for sure, but it's definitely, I feel like it's been the smoothest experience thus far. I don't know. We'll see if customs takes my duck hunt blaster away. Hopefully not. I'm excited to open this, so let's go open it. We got another big package today. If you couldn't tell who it's from, before even opening this, this is the best packaging so far. I'm also realizing right now, how did they fit a Virtual Boy in here with all the other stuff I bought? And if I remember correctly, shipping wasn't egregious. What I don't know is how I'm supposed to open this thing. It feels like a crate, but it's all cardboard. Okay. That was a lot of cutting just to open this up, but once again, pretty solid packaging. Gotta hand it to him. There is our Virtual Boy stand. I still can't believe I got a Virtual Boy. This is awesome. Dang, this is some nice plush packaging. Absolutely outstanding packaging. I am amazed. What is... YouTube, this is not real. It is fake, I swear. Like, I'm not actually just saying that. This is not a real one. It's got a cord hanging out of it. It made it. This is technically not legal for them to ship to me, but I got one. Heck yeah. Oh, I was so worried I was not going to get that. I'm not going to put it on camera anymore because I don't want to get demonetized, even though it's not a real thing. I don't even want to say the word because I don't want it to get flagged. And we got the games. These are immaculate. It feels brand new. Like the plastic feels like brand. Did anyone play this game? Do I have a brand new duck hunt? This is the best day ever. Today has been such a good day. And then opening this package is just making my day even better. Heck yeah. There's our Virtual Boy games. Oh, wow. Those are really thin. Holy crap. V-Tetris and baseball game. I'm just going to dump the rest of this out because, wow, yeah, this is definitely the best packaging yet. This has got to be the Virtual Boy. Phenomenal job with the packaging. Good job, ZenMarket. We'll save this boy for last. I'm too lazy to get the chair out, but I'm tired of hunching over. Here's our Virtual Boy controller. A little dirty, but nothing a little spit shine can't fix. This is a funky controller, I'll tell you that. I believe this is my Famicom Disk System games, which I should also get some Virtual Boy games with this one. Yep, there's some Virtual Boy games there. Mario Tennis and Virtual 3D Shooting Game, which if I remember correctly, this is the one that makes me nauseous, that I've tried on everything but an actual Virtual Boy. Got some manuals even for the games. We've got another game that I don't know what it is. Another game that I don't know what it is. Some sort of billiards. Some sort of pool. This is not having a label. I think this is a Castlevania game. It might be the first Castlevania game. Metroid and F1 Race once again, but in a bigger container that I've never seen before. So hopefully at least one of those games works, preferably Metroid. It's time. Just kidding, it's not. I forgot about this. I think this is just a box for the thing that I probably wasn't supposed to get shipped to me that I gambled on. And the box is a little mushed. I don't know if that's from shipping or not. I do prefer when things are flat packed. Wait, what is? Oh, the holster. I forgot that I got one. This is awesome. Don't mess with me, boy. I'm strapped. This is awesome. One more delay here. Got to open the 3DS because I didn't actually open that. It actually doesn't look too bad. There's some scuffs on it. Yep, bottom screen's perfect. Top screen's perfect. That is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. I will be putting a capture card in this 3DS LL. You can look forward to that. I'm also probably going to make a video on the Virtual Boy we're about to unbox, and a lot of the stuff will probably be featured in video on the second channel, so get subscribed to the second channel and the main channel if you haven't already. Let's get to the final bit of business here. They put an extra amount of bubble wrap on this thing. They probably knew what this was and were like, yeah, let's make sure this ain't breaking. They even put some bubble wrap in the eyepieces there. That's very nice. Great attention to detail. Beautiful. I am so happy right now. This is awesome. 1990s VR, baby. As excited as I am right now, I gotta look back and see if this was actually all worth it. Got some rose-tinted glasses right now. And as usual, there is an extended cut of the unboxing up on the second channel right now, J64, if you want to see more of that. I will also be dropping a few videos of me messing around with the stuff I bought, so get subscribed over there. Links in the description. As amazing as that packaging was, again, take it with a grain of salt since they knew I was making this video. And other than the Social Security thing and the more than 3.5% charges, I really don't have any complaints about ZenMarket. I mean, yeah, I would prefer to not have to add funds to a wallet and just pay for items like with Buyee, but is the cost of services as high as Buyee? Let's talk money. Before any fees, I spent a whopping 74,999 yen or $479.99 on all of the goods. I only spent 2,500 yen or $16 on the per listing fees, but I only bought 5 listings this time, and the per listing fee is the same rate as Sendico and Buyee. Shipping the 7.5 pound package from Japan to Oregon cost me 9,720 yen or $61.62, 1,000 yen of which was the better packaging fee. The definitely more than 3.5% fees for adding funds cost me an extra $41.59, which was actually about 6.9% of the total. All of that comes together for a grand total of $606.20. Having those numbers is great and all, but to see if they're good numbers, we need to compare them to Buyee and Sendico. And since I spent different amounts of money on a variety of items at each of these places, we really only need to focus on the shipping and compare the percentage of fees. I think ZenMarket had the best packaging at 1,000 yen extra, then Sendico at 500 yen extra, and Buyee's was the worst and most expensive at 1,500 yen extra. Overall shipping costs, Sendico's was the cheapest, costing 7,475 yen for a 12 pound package. Then was ZenMarket costing 9,720 yen for a 7.5 pound package. And Buyee was by far the most expensive, costing 8,999 yen for the lightest package that weighed only 4.5 pounds. Sendico and ZenMarket both have their strengths when it comes to shipping, but Buyee is just a no from me. And the percentages really back that up. As I've said before, 20% of the total cost with Sendico was shipping and fees, and it was 26% of the total cost for Buyee. As for ZenMarket, even with the high fees from adding funds to your wallet, shipping and fees was also only 20% of the total cost. So honestly, it's really hard to choose between Sendico and ZenMarket. I just know I'm not choosing Buyee. Like, I might give the edge to ZenMarket because you can earn Zen points to use to save on shipping, but I clearly don't know how that system works. If the packaging is always this good and the cost of shipping and fees is the same as Sendico's, then I guess I would give the edge to ZenMarket. Just don't give them your social security number. But I would love to know what you guys think in those comments down below, especially if you've used one, two, or all three of these services. Despite the grievances I have with both Sendico and ZenMarket, I genuinely think that both services are great and are worth trying for yourself. I don't know which one I'll stick with yet, but I'll gladly take sponsorships from either of them. I'll have my referral link for Sendico down below, and I'll have one for ZenMarket if I can, but I think this is the official end of the series. If there is another service out there like these that you think I should try, let me know and I might just take a look. These videos are not cheap to make though, and they take a lot of time and effort, so leaving a like and subscribing would be greatly appreciated. Maybe even share this video with a friend who likes buying Japanese goods. But that's about it for me. So like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later, guys. 1,000 yen of which was the yen of which. I love that. Yen of which. I'm trying to say 1,000 yen of which, but you know, whatever. This is a great funny bit.